What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Levon Maynard.
Hey, welcome to the show.
What is going on? Please continue to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to the podcast. If you watch us on a regular basis, you know that Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday's a discussion. So this week we talked about Interpol. We talked about the Google Play store. In the discussion, we talked about Microsoft pushing a new passwordless future. Pretty interesting. Thursday's Ask Us SP. I don't know what we're talking about yet because the way time works, I haven't done it yet. And then today, we talk about everything else for the most part. Like every now and then, a little bit of cyber works its way in there, but we try to talk about everything else, like what media we consume, what we've been reading or doing, all that good stuff. So please continue to tune in. We enjoy your viewerage, listenerage, whatever age, making the words over here. With that being said, how was everybody's week?
My week was pretty good. I actually got some. I got some good shows that I got a chance to view this week. Play some games as well, but I just throwed out some of the highlights for the week for me as far as like some of the shows. So I checked out this Netflix show called Hellbound. You guys may or may not have seen like the little advertisement for it, but it's like these you pretty much see like these three like big like black monsters. And they're basically sending people to hell like that apparently deserve to be sent to hell.
Yeah. It's Korean, right?
It's a Korean flick. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it's pretty crazy. It's like I don't want to reveal too much, but you know, it's kind of like has like a maybe kind of religious backing. I mean, it's not like it doesn't like really get deep into religion, but it's just like it's all kind of like these kind of demonish type creatures are sending people to hell, and people are trying to figure it out. And then they have this group of people that are like, they form like this group of like all holy deacons that are like, we would show you guys how to be sinless and, you know, kind of thing, and show you how to live good lives. And if you are a sinner, you are going to be, you know, taken by these beasts. And people start like, you know, forming into these like little cults. And then these people are like trying to hunt down sinners and like these like crazy. They're kind of like, you know, they're doing it in the name of like God, but they're like basically going around like effing people up, beating them down, and like you are a sinner, you're gonna make you pay for your sins. And then, you know, and then people that get pretty much before people get sent to hell, they get like a warning ahead of time. They get like a pretty much it's like being shows up out of nowhere and just appears in front of them and says like, you know, Son Lee, you have been choked, you know, you have sinned, and we will you're going to be sent to hell in 5 days at exactly 9:30 p.m. You will be like sent to hell. And then at that exact time,
give you the time like, too?
Yeah, they give you like the time and everything. So you know exactly like minute, like when they're gonna show up. And then so the people are just like, they know exactly when these beasts are going to show up, and then they're kind of anticipating, and they're sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden you hear some rumble and things start shaking, and then all of a sudden these beasts come out of nowhere and they start just running at you like some like crazy like you know, and for some reason they have to like beat you up first before they send you to hell. Like they make you like yeah, like beat the crap out of you. Everybody's all bloody and stuff. And I was like, dang, this thing is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. But
so you know when the whooping is coming,
right? Yeah,
yo,
they about to box you first, and like, and then they send you to hell.
You
like,
sold me. I am so that's getting watched. Is it a TV show or a movie?
It's a series. It's only like 8 episodes, I think.
Oh man, I'm starting it today.
You should check it out. I think you enjoy it.
They beat you up. You gotta get jumped out to go to hell.
You get jumped first. Yeah, you get jumped, and then you get
that is
to hell. Like
getting watched today. Like, thank you for that tip.
Yeah, it's good. I think I enjoyed it. It had some like for me. had a couple questions. I'm sure they maybe explain it later in the series, but it's like I don't know why it's specifically like 3 beasts that come at you. Like they couldn't have just sent one because they're like pretty much invincible. I don't know why they had to send like 3 of them just in case one of them like falls through or something. But some little things like that, I'm like, that's kind of weird. Why they send 3 of them? But maybe they'll explain it. But they end the series, this season on a cliffhanger. Definitely gonna have like another season. I'm sure if they get enough like money or whatever, enough viewership. But it entertained me. It entertained me, and I think you guys might like it. I think Shannon might like it. It had enough, I don't know, craziness in it, enough like violence and stuff, all that kind of craziness. But
and you can watch it subbed and dubbed, right? Like you can listen to it in English.
Not 100%. I watched it subtitled, but I think there is dubbed. Netflix normally is pretty good about that, especially these like big budget like Korean
and I know you should watch it in his native or whatever, but sometimes I want to multitask. So
right. Yeah.
That's impossible, right?
yeah. But I have to check it out, see if it's dubbed, but I just watch it subtitled. But so I enjoy that one. And then I watched it's called Bruised, and it's by
it's with Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, yep, Halle Berry.
Oh,
she directed it.
Gotcha.
Directed it and starred in it, and it's basically
she didn't lose no kids, did she?
There's a kid in it.
Halle Berry and kids, man, like don't.
Yeah, it does have
they
like
either getting kidnapped or she abandoned them.
right. Hey, you might have guessed some of the plot right there. I don't know.
Oh no,
that's kind of true.
Yeah, losing Isaiah.
Right.
Yeah. The one, oh man, I forget the one I watched on the plane, but like they stole her kid. Like Halle Berry and kids in movies, Monsters Ball. Like she don't do good with kids.
Right. Yeah, she has a kid in this one too, and it's kind of a little bit of a tearjerker towards the end. I think a little tear might have fell down the cheek a little bit. But I was like, okay, I'm strong. I'm good.
Allergies.
Get back in there, too.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's my allergies.
Is it? You said it's on Netflix, or where's it at?
Yep, that's on Netflix too.
Netflix too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was pretty good. It's kind of like kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Rocky type movie. A little bit of her like she's like a little down and out, and she's trying to like make something of herself. I guess it kind of starts off with her like in the cage, and whatever reason she got terrified in the cage, or she was getting beat up so bad that she just jumped out of the cage and just ran out. So just like turned tail, ran out the cage because she was scared of her opponent. She's like getting beat up too much. She was like fearing for her life or whatever reason she wanted to get out of there. So she got really embarrassed, and people were like making fun of her, like, like, oh, look at this chicken, chicken fight or whatever. I can't remember what they called her some names, but they just like disrespected her. So she's like, down on her luck, and people like didn't think that she was a good fighter anymore. And then she kind of like is trying to come back from that, make a name for herself again. And then her child comes into the picture and all this kind of stuff. She has to deal with that. I try not to delve too much into the plot, but it was pretty good. It was nothing like, I won't say it's like any kind of phenomenal, like it's not like at the level of like a Rocky movie as far as like when those first came out.
Right. What was the one where it was a female boxer and
$1 Million
she gets
Baby?
injured?
$1
Million Dollar Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more like that?
It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I think it's similar to that because if I remember correctly, like
she had to. So $1 Million Baby, she had to come up from nothing. Like nobody wanted to train her. So I watched the trailer for this because I was like, oh, Halle Berry, right? Let me see what it is.
Right.
And when I looked at the trailer, it seems like she was big time and then lost it. And I guess that's how she lost it, was she ran out of the cage or whatever. And so, like you said, she's down on her luck, and then it's like, hey, I think he's like 8 or something like that. However old the boy is, like, hey, boy, And then I think she has to start. It seems like all she knows how to do is fight, and she has to get better at it. She has to get good at it again to make a living for them. Mm-hmm. So, but $1 Million Baby, she started from nothing and went up, and then
right.
Yeah.
I add to the playlist. I add to the playlist because I even though she's terrible with kids in movies, I enjoy her films. So.
Yeah. I think it was good overall though. It was like it's a good movie. It's Yeah, it's a good movie, and just like you said, not to reveal, I think it's kind of in the trailer too, but like, uh, she pretty much didn't have a kid in her life, and then all of a sudden the kid came back into her life. Something happened to the father that was watching the kid, and so now she has another mouth to feed, so to speak, and then she's like doesn't have that much money for herself as it is, and then there's some craziness going on with the man that she's living with, her boyfriend, I guess, at the time, and so that kind of have like some situation there as well, but yeah, it was a pretty good movie. It's pretty good. And then I think maybe the last thing I watched that no, I have two more things real quick. One thing I'll say is I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is one of my favorites. It's an anime, and
I've never seen it. My kids are like, "You need to watch this." I'm just like, yeah. Just the title is like, I don't know if I'm like it, but you recommending it?
I really recommend it. It's like it's so random. Like the title's so random, and the series makes sense. I mean, it's like it has some craziness in the series, but it's like it's logical in the sense that like it's not like some zaniness that you don't understand. Like, why did they even do that in the story? But essentially, people have these. It's kind of like a martial arts type thing where people have like these. They have the martial arts skills, and then they have like these stands, which are like I want to say like little spirits or something, that some part of them that's like a extra being that has like unique abilities, so essentially they just use these. They get in situations where they have to like. This is Joe Star family, I think it's this Joe Star family, and everybody's name begins with or has like JoJo in it somewhere. Like for example, it was most recent season, which is actually has a female lead for one of the first times. Her name is I think is it Jocelyn or Jolyn Cujo. So her nickname is JoJo. So like all the characters have some sort of like Joe Star, I think Joseph Joe Star, something like that. All the characters have like a JoJo in their name. That's where the JoJo Bizarre Adventure comes from. But most of the series has like different JoJos. But a couple of the seasons have like the same Joes. But it's really good because they have the stance and they use their abilities and they pretty much just pretty much fighting these bad guys and they have different situations. I remember in like the first season, which is hilarious to me, but it starts out with like well, not starts out, but somewhere in the series there's like a Nazi like general that like he ends up having to like fight, and then somehow the Nazi general turns into a good guy by the end of the season. It's crazy because he like changes his ways. He's like, you know what, I kind of messed up. Let me help save the world. It's just like that was probably one of the most random kind of funny things I've seen in the series, but it's just like a hilarious like mix of action and like adventure and like you really start feeling for the characters, and he always runs across these different people that have like these unique abilities, and then he ends up fighting some people and then they befriend them and they become like part of the gang, and then there's always like some sort of like ultimate being that they got to fight towards the end of the season. But it's maybe kind of typical in that sense, but it's very unique as far as like the I don't know, the plots and the character development, all that kind of stuff. And it's like a big lineage. It's like a generational thing. So all these people are related for the most part. All these people are like part of this like Joe Star family lineage. But it gets more and more interesting. But I like the latest season. Jocelyn Cujo is like she's pretty much thrown in jail because she got framed for like a murder, and she got tossed in there. Now she's basically trying to it's gonna be too confusing if I describe everything, but essentially her father came to visit her and he was there to talk to her and say, hey, I'm gonna break you out of here. But then somebody else with another stand pretty much took her father's abilities, he stripped the abilities and his like all his memories, and he pretty much died. But now she's trying to find out who this person who belongs to the stand, or who the person that's connected to the stand, who's in jail, and try to figure out who that person is, so she can get back her father's memories and his abilities, so that he can be restored back to life. So she's now she's making a bunch of friends in the jail. She's like fighting random people, but it's very unique series. but I enjoy it. I think it's got a big following behind it, but I know it's probably too far out there for Shannon and some other.
You said unique. You said unique. That means too weird for me.
That's right. Probably too weird for you, but I don't know. You watch it, maybe watch a trailer or something. But there's one thing the character always says that's like it's one of his catchphrases, which is like yada yada, which is like good grief. But it's like the way he says it, like he says like it's like a I don't know. Whenever he says it's like something's about to go down, or like like something's like crazy just happened. But it's a good series. I think it's definitely got a big following behind it. It's been around for a bit now. I think it's on its 5th or 6th season now.
Okay.
And I think they got more than like 100 episodes. More than 100 episodes. But it's really good. But last thing I'll mention is I watched Chucky the series. It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you heard of it?
No, I saw a trailer and I was like, I don't know.
It's pretty good. I mean,
Chucky like the doll?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They made a series.
TV series, yeah.
Yeah, they made a TV series out of it. And it's it's definitely like rated R. It's got some cursing and stuff in there and all that kind of stuff. But it's and a bunch of blood and people getting stabbed with like needles and all kinds of crazy mess.
Right.
But it's pretty entertaining. I think it's pretty well directed.
Okay. So it's not like the remake that they just did, because that was terrible.
Are you talking about the movie or something?
The latest Chucky movie? Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even seen the latest movie.
It was terrible.
Yeah. I think they did this one pretty proper. And I look at the reviews online before I started watching it, and it got like I think one say it's like in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really?
And then,
okay.
He's got like a 7 something on IMDb or something. But it's pretty entertaining. I'm on episode like 6, I think, of the 8 episodes I think there are. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's got some throwbacks. It kind of brings back some of the history of Chucky, and some of the people from the first movie are actually in there. Kind of like when you talked about.
Okay, I like Halloween.
That. Yeah. They bring some of the people back into the series. So I think they do a pretty good job. Yeah.
Got you. You said it's on Peacock? I don't have that one. I got one. I got that one.
Yeah. So I got Peacock because it's like included with my like cable plan or whatever, I guess. Or like if you have a
okay.
I don't know how it works, but I don't pay for a Peacock separately. And I think I don't know. It has this one I'm watching has commercials, so it might be like the free version though, or like the limited, whatever the lowest tier version of Peacock.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's mostly my viewing pleasures this week. Besides that, I played some games, played some of the a lot of Halo Infinite multiplayer. Playing some Yakuza 2. Been killing some of that, and just been getting ready for the holidays, getting my Christmas shopping done, trying to get things ready we put up the Christmas tree, put up some lights. Yeah, I know, right? I'm normally pretty last minute with the shopping as well, but I got a few things ahead of time. But that's been my week, as I took like 30 minutes of this episode already. How about you guys? How you been doing this?
All good. It's all good. You got it in this week.
I know. I got it in. I got a lot of content.
What, man?
Yeah, I got the content in.
So for me, after Ryan told me that T-Mobile gives me Paramount Plus for free, I went and signed up. And I finished it today, actually, is Picard. I watched Picard.
Oh, so I didn't finish it yet. I've been stretching out. Okay. It was good.
I probably will not watch the second season.
No! Were you a Star Trek fan?
I was. Next Generation? Next Generation specifically, right? So I did not watch Enterprise, Deep Space Nine, all these other ones and whatnot. It just, I probably will not watch the second season. And the trailer for season 2, I just watched that too today. I was like, man, that looks great. But I was like, after this first season, I don't know if I'm going to continue on.
Did it, like, for you, did it ramp up and then just peter off? Because I'm at the ramp up right now, so I'm like, it's pretty good.
So what episode are you on where you think it ramped up?
So I'm on, I think the next thumbnail is 7 of 9 is on the thumbnail. So I'm at that point.
So 5. That's like episode 5 or 6.
Yeah, so I'm like in the middle of it or whatever. So it seems like it's just on the up. You know what I mean? They assembling the team and whatnot. It feels like that to me. So like we're getting ready for like the final boss.
If she's on the thumbnail, have you seen her yet?
No.
Not even.
No.
Okay. So that's probably episode 4 then, or something like that. You probably only watched 4.
Yeah,
so like she shows up before she shows up and stars in there, right? But it's like at the end of an episode. So yeah, I think you're at like 4, maybe 5. I can't remember, but the first episode I thought was the best one, if I'm being honest, though. Right?
It did have the most action. That is true. So far, the first episode had the most action.
But like, and then they kind of taper off from there. You know what I mean? Then it's love story and all this other stuff. And I know you got to do that when it's a series, right? But for me, I'm just kind of like, nah. Like I almost didn't complete it, but I was like, there's only 10 episodes. I'm at 6 now. I was like, okay, let me watch 7. And then there'll be something. There'll be something that's like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of promise, and then I get let down again. And then it's like,
oh no.
Well, I'm 8 episodes now. Right?
Gotcha.
Like, I'm like, so, but yeah, I watched that. I probably will not watch season 2. I started watching one of my coworkers. He gave me a suggestion to watch Lower Decks, I think is the name of it. It's an animated thing.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
It's okay. It's all right. I got Discovery in the queue. I'll probably start Discovery and see what I like about that, because the same coworker was like, oh yeah, Discovery is good. You know what I mean? But Discovery has big time jump in there too.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So Discovery is different. So like there was a rule where they didn't do like interpersonal stuff on Star Trek, like to a certain degree, like no drama. Like Roddenberry's thing was like, I don't want human drama. I want it to be galactic or what have you. But there is a more not human, because like obviously they're interacting with human or interacting with aliens and whatnot, but there is more drama in Discovery. So I don't know if you will or will not like it. I liked it only because it added continuity. Like if they didn't like each other to begin with, they continuously did not like each other, or they worked towards something. Right? It felt like, because a lot of Star Trek are vignettes. It's like a lot of episodes do not bleed into each other unless they have to. Like this one, the entire time through, even though it doesn't have a massive time jump in it, it had continuity the entire time. So that to me was different. So you may or may not like it.
I don't mind that as long as the phasers come out too, right? Like bring the phasers out too, you know what I mean? Like I don't have a problem with it when that's happening as well. But
yeah. And they changed the way that the Klingons look. That's going to throw you off.
Really?
Yeah, they look weird.
Well, okay, all right. Well, that could be an evolution thing, right? Because the time frame of this, the way the coworker explained it to me, like it's different from what I thought I was going to be seeing. So, yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's. I'll give Discovery a shot. See what happens with that. But yeah, watch Picard, Lower Deck. I didn't get Solar Opposites in. I wanted to watch Solar Opposites. I didn't get a chance to get that in that Christmas.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw that.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, it was pretty much that. Like it was, I'd get an episode in. I was like, okay, let me keep going just to make sure I'm not gonna watch this. And I'm like, oh, it's good. And then I'm like, all right, well, it's late. I gotta go to bed now, you know. So it was pretty much watching those 10 episodes of that, and then Lower Deck. But that's kind of it. Like that's kind of all I watched, really, to be honest with you.
Got you. I feel like I'm forgetting something I watched. I marathoned something. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Oh, so Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, I watched Hawkeye too. Let me not forget that. I did watch Hawkeye too, and that was a pretty good episode, but it was short.
Yeah. It felt short, right?
It was.
Was it just me?
It was short. It was only 35 minutes for this one. So
that means that one of the episodes is going to be long.
Probably. So like the other ones, I think it was like 48 or 46 minutes or something like that, and then 50 minutes or something.
Yeah,
right? 46 and then 50 or 50 and 46. But and then this one was 35, and I was like, IMDb shows they're only doing 6, so like this is that whole 6-hour thing, right? That Feige,
right, exactly, yeah.
So yeah,
so one or two of them are gonna be extra long because I felt the same way because when it ended, I was like, it's probably gonna be a long ass Easter egg after the credits. And there was no Easter egg.
Yeah.
I was like, was it just me or was it short? And I don't like to wait. Like, I'm not a fan of waiting. Like, just give me all the episodes at once. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I think you said that was the last thing.
But that's it. That was it for me. Yeah.
Okay. So I watched Hawkeye. Really like it. Did not think I would. Like as soon as they introduced it, like it's so biased against the non-powered Avengers. I was like,
give them no respect.
Whack. Yeah. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, okay, I got the Die Hard vibe and whatnot. Like, okay, I'll watch. I'll definitely watch. And I'm watching. I'm like, this is better than some of the other stuff Marvel has dropped. Like their TV shows are off the chain. Disney Plus is definitely worth the price of admission. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It kind of made me want to watch some of his co-star. Is it Steinfeld?
Haley.
I forget her last name.
Haley.
Yeah. So I'm going through her catalog because I'm like, she's actually pretty funny. So I want to see what else. But a lot of it is like tween type stuff. So I'm like, man. But she did have an Apple Plus series called Dickinson. I saw a trailer for that, and I'm like, that is different. I may or may not watch a few episodes of that this weekend.
Well, she also did Pitch Perfect 2, I think. It was the second one, right? She did that one. Pitch Perfect is funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I watched the first one. I never seen the second.
So when she was okay, so then you didn't see her in this one then, but she also did the newer version of True Grit. I don't know if you ever seen it.
I did. That was her. Oh, okay. That movie was rough,
wasn't it?
I'm like, thank God I was born in this century. That's how y'all live. You just got to deal with everything. Like, yeah, I thought that was really good. Okay, so that was a long time ago. Like, how old was she in that movie?
She probably was no more than 13.
Okay.
True Grit had to have been like 10 years ago.
Yes, that was a long time ago. I actually want to watch it again now that you mentioned it because I don't remember all of it, but that was a good movie. Like, so that's another Western. So I was trying to think. I was like, I've seen another Western movie I really liked. Cause I'm not big on Westerns. I watch them, but it's got to have a different take. And I was like, okay, True Grit. That was one of the ones that I liked as well. But yeah, so I'm definitely interested in some other material with her in it because I think she's a really good actress. And I'm just excited to see where the series goes because I'm just like that big dude that was they showed the hand in the suit. I was like, oh man, we about to really get some real good Marvel content. Like, I think that they're picking and I think they will pick and pull from some of the Netflix stuff and bring it over, and that has me excited.
Okay,
like if I'm wrong about who that is, I'll be very sad because I'm very hyped.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. And the voice sounds like him too when he played it on Netflix. Sounds like the same.
I'm just like that. That is some good stuff. Like don't bring back anything to do with Iron Fist though, except for the female lead from Iron Fist and Rosario Dawson because she could do no wrong. Bring them two back. Leave all the rest of that cast on Netflix to never be seen again.
Okay.
Well, I'm like, okay, I like where this is going. So I was very excited, and I like how they also threw in some not necessarily Easter eggs because it's very very blatant with that arrow and who made that arrow that he fired. But just like Batman, when they show scenes, they are killing people. The people died in that car chase. They don't talk about it. But them people are dead. So I just want to put that out there. She killed people.
There's no way they survive, right? So
yeah, man. Like
I gotta ask you something though, right? So you're like, you don't like the Marvel characters that don't have powers, right? But you also
not that I don't like them. I just don't fit. It's always a weird balance. I'm like, you guys are on the street level, like the you guys need to be running around Hell's Kitchen. and fighting the regular dudes. Like, don't come here and fight no Ultrons because you're gonna get decapitated real quick.
but you don't like
they keep
Superman.
doing a good job with him though.
They do for sure, for sure. But you don't like Superman either though,
because he's
like Superman's too overpowered. Yeah, so like
he's overpowered. He's too OP. He's too perfect. Like my man, he can go back in time. Like, oh, I messed this one up. Let me spin the world backwards. And somehow that reverses time.
Isn't that that's just the 70s? Isn't that that's just the 70s?
It's too much. It's too much.
It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while.
It's too much. He's too strong. I like Superman when he is evil. So he's wearing the hammer and sickle. I like him when he goes off the deep end, like Injustice. Like that's when he makes a better bad guy than a good guy, in my opinion. Because that is somebody you want to fight.
Wow.
Or you don't want to fight. But as a good guy, he's a trump card. Like, oh man, we're losing. Like, no, we're not. We're still in the fight. Nah, we're losing. And Superman just shows up, beats everybody up. You don't have to fight. But just send in Superman.
But the villains that he has are like super powerful, though, right? You know what I mean? So like,
right. Yeah, like a Doomsday. But then no one can fight Doomsday. Not even him. You beat the tar out of that man. So what like I think I sent you guys the Ace meme where Doomsday shows up, he comes out the portal, and nobody wants smoke. Superman was like, "Hey, we gonna jump you," and everybody was like, "Nah." Because if he could beat Superman up, then what chance do we have?
Right.
So that's my whole thing, Superman. But no, I definitely like, and I just really like the different takes on those events. I think we talked about it last week. Like you have certain events that are happening in MCU where like now we have nostalgia for. Like everybody remembers the battle of 2012. Everybody remembers the snap or the blip or whatever I think they call it the blip on the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And now everybody's going to know the that gold flash that comes with the when they break when they bring in the multiverse. Like these are going to be certain milestones that they can keep going back to, where you're just like, oh, I remember that. And you just get it from a different take, right? So like we saw the battle of 2012 from her perspective. We saw the blip several times now. Like we saw it in Spider-Man when people just came back. We saw it in WandaVision where Rambo, where she comes back. Like she comes back in the room, like she reforms. You're just like, oh, that's crazy.
I don't remember.
You remember? So remember she's asking for her mom. She's like, where's my mom? Where, like she's running around the hospital and people are just reappearing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And they're like, your mom died. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? They kind of break down the timeline to her real quick. Yeah. Like I like that type of stuff because now it again continuity, but also you just get different perspectives. Like you always want to see like how did other people react to this? Like I'm waiting for the one film where people are reanimated mid-air because they're on a plane.
And it falls to the sky. Right?
That's not going to happen because it's Disney. But I'm just saying like that probably happened.
But that's not even. But honestly, that's not even something they addressed. If you know what though, like I'm trying to think about it. After you said that, they didn't show any planes falling out the sky or anything like that when it happened.
Right. There's a pilot or two that got blipped.
For sure.
But they always have like a co-pilot though, right? So
they got a co-pilot and a navigator, but I mean the chances are still pretty. So here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. It's like you had some of those heroes that were right next to each other that got blipped at the same time, right?
Right.
Like they were right there with each other when they went away. You know what I'm saying? So I find it hard to believe that the odds are, okay, only one of the three in that cockpit are only going to.
Yes, statistically, right? Some planes had no issues.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Other planes had all the issues.
Everybody. Exactly.
But then the planes that didn't have issues, they just had like, hey, can anybody fly the plane? Like, yes, I'm a pilot. And then they came back.
In the Disney's world, yes. Like if they ever do show it in Disney's world, yes.
Right. If it was like DC dark,
right? So this is 2012 and it's after 9/11, right? So you ain't getting in that cockpit if you ain't getting in if you're not let in from the inside.
That is true. You don't even know the pilots disappeared.
Well, you'll know when all of a sudden it's just like you'll figure what's going on, but how are you getting in there, right? Like so.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
but yeah, I just think it's super interesting just to see from different perspectives. Like it's pretty cool because like from her perspective, like he was like God tier Avengers, like right from what she saw. But we know he had to swing down and go through the glass to escape because he was getting overwhelmed. He was out of arrows. So it's just different perspective. Like I was just like Kevin Feige could do no wrong. Like, give that man all the flowers because he is definitely. I can't wait to see how he integrates the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and all that stuff because it's going to be cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. What else did I see? So I watched Hawkeye. I finished. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't. So I finished Foundation. Foundation is over on Apple Plus. Ending was a little underwhelming. There's something bigger going to happen, but I'm very impatient. So we'll see. But the cliffhanger was like everything that you just saw was necessary for everything that's going to go forward. So you're just like, well, I wanted some kind of reward at the end, right? You didn't really get that. So you got to be in for the long haul for that one. Then in Invasion, the next episode this Friday will be the finale. I'm just like, because they're showing the big bad more, which I appreciate. Everybody knows what's going down. It's a fight. However, the aliens are making dumb moves. I'm like, you're able to, like, that's the whole thing I always have about, like, it's not that I don't believe that there are such things as aliens. I just don't believe some people have had interactions with them the way they describe, because there's no way you're able to traverse galaxies and then crash in a cornfield. I'm sorry. Like, you're able to travel through space faster than light. You're able to navigate because space will kill you. Like, the whole purpose of space is to kill you. Like, it has no purpose other than to be a vacuum of emptiness that holds everything that we know of, right?
Right.
You're not supposed to be in that environment. Nothing's supposed to live out there. But yet you are able to conquer that, and then you crash in the cornfield. Or you get here and you abduct people and then let them go. It's just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, but they don't know what they don't know, right? So yeah, they're not used to Earth's environment, right? Like on their home world, you know, it might be where Goku goes. It's 300 times gravity. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You
didn't prep for that. You didn't get the AAA. What do they used to call it? Like the the trip pass. You didn't prep.
But I mean, you got to think like I'm with you though, right? Like there's no way we're the only ones out there, right? And it's coming out. Like the Pentagon's got to fess up to it now. It's like, all right, it's getting a little overwhelming. Navy pilots left and right are like, yeah, there's stuff out there. It's like, all right, okay. There's stuff out there. You know what I mean? Right. But no, I mean, I think it's just a matter of, okay, they probably think, you know, they're going to do something that they don't do when they get here, right? Like, oh, this should do this in this environment. It's like, oh, no, that's not the case. You know, cornfield. You know what I mean?
Well, like you were just not, I don't like, so perhaps they're regular aliens. They're not like the people who made the tech. They're just the people. Like, they're not that new Tesla spacecraft.
They're not
They drove it too fast. The autopilot's not working. I don't know what's happening.
That could be them, right? That could be the ones that aren't following instructions. You know, that the people tell them at the spaceship dealership. They told them we shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. I can't call it, but there's something. I because there's no way like the endless amount of space. There's something else out there. I honestly don't think we'll run into them. Like, I don't know, we are seeing something here, right? Like they are showing us images of orbs and crap coming in and out of the ocean. But that might be homegrown. Like maybe that's Atlantis. Maybe they're not from outer space. Maybe they've always been here. They're out here chilling.
Mm-hmm. Like the Tomorrow War.
Yeah, or it's like the real life Wakanda. Like we don't want to be seen. We want to interact with y'all. But yeah, so like Invasion, I can see it coming to a lukewarm ending. So I'm just like, I was invested, but it's starting to fall apart. What else? I watched something else. Oh, True Story. I've watched 2 episodes of that. It's the Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes series.
How is that?
Oh man, watch the first episode. Watch the first episode because it starts out and you're just like, you don't know what you're watching. You're like, is this a documentary? And then by the end of the episode, you're just like edge of your seat, like, oh, the episode 2. Like so far, every episode I feel stressed out. Like I can't marathon it. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta watch that one tomorrow. I can't be this tense for this long. But he's acting his butt off. Like he's doing a really good job. Wesley Snipes is always a good actor.
This is not a comedy. He was on who was interviewing him? Kimmel or Fallon, one of the two. Okay. And it was like real deal. And even a clip they showed, like I was like, wow. I was like, he seems very like, is this The Wire? Like, what am I watching?
Right. But he's able to flip. So like I was watching I think it's Kept on Stage. He always says that comedy is harder than acting. He said to be funny at the drop of a hat takes more effort, practice, and craft in some cases than acting. He said that's why you see a lot of comedians are able to transition, like Kevin Hart, and it is definitely telling. Like he's able to flip it on and off so well. Because I was actually getting tired of Kevin Hart. I'm not gonna be. It was overexposure, right? You know how like sometimes people just are too much in the media. Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't as funny to me for a certain period of time because it felt like he's telling the same jokes. He wasn't, but timing, just overexposure. Like you're always seeing somebody who's just not as funny. I think that's why I'm not funny to my wife. So like overexposure, like she knows the punchlines before they even go down. But like this is a different level on his part. Like I think that he because he's already mainstream and whatnot, but I think he's going to get a lot more dramatic roles because this is really good.
So he's doing a really good job. But this isn't the first dramatic role. He had the one with Bryan Cranston, right? That was serious.
See, I didn't watch that one.
I didn't see it either, but like I know it was not comedy. And he had another one. He was more serious in another one. I want to say that I'm missing. Oh, the father one, where his wife died. He's the baby. Was it Fatherhood? Is that the name of it on Netflix?
I don't think I saw that one either. I never even heard of that one.
Yeah, his wife dies, and he's got a young baby. Is it Fatherhood? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one was supposed to be serious. I didn't watch that one either, but that was serious. Like his family's helping him take care of this young. So from when the baby is young to when she's probably 6 or 7 or something like that, he has to take care of his child because the mom died young in the child's life. But that was not a real comedy either. So he's had dramatic roles.
Okay. I just been missing out. Yeah, I only know him for his stand-up. I think I've seen 3 of his tours. They're hilarious. But then after, I want to say...
And in person.
Yep, saw him in person.
You saw him in person,
pre-pandemic. Yeah. It was still hilarious. But then I think there was 2 I saw on Netflix where he's still funny, but it just wasn't as funny. It just felt like I kind of knew where he was going with some of the stuff and what have you. But I like this pivot, like... because it starts out, it feels like a documentary. It feels like before you see a show, you know how the comedian's always doing something backstage. He's working his way to the front and whatnot. Like they do that. So I'm just like, is this like his life? And then it splits off from there, and you're just like, oh, this is really good. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm gonna watch an episode a day. Like I said, I watched those first 2, and I was just like, oh, I gotta take a break.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. Yeah.
I'm on my edge of my seat for 2 hours. I can't keep doing that.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I have to just agree with you on Kevin Hart, generally speaking. And even like I watched the trailer for this one. And I was kind of like, I was listening to Kevin Hart's acting. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his like acting and his like. I don't know. He doesn't really sell it to me. I feel like maybe I've seen, like you said, maybe overexposure and seen him on the stage. I feel like, even. I used to really like Kevin Hart, but I feel like I don't like him as much as I used to. Like you're saying, some of his jokes, and I feel like when I first heard of Kevin Hart, I started watching him and stuff. I feel like I believed his stories, and now like I feel like he makes up little situations that like, oh yeah, okay. Right. Remember I was in, not remember, but he said something like, I was in the mall the other day, and then I ran across this girl, and then she was like doing this or that. But it's like, no, I don't think that really happened, Kevin. You just probably made some little story to try to make it sound like a a real situation. But right. It seems like a little fake to me. But and then like the delivery, like you said before, it's like it seems like it's all kind of the same delivery and kind of it's almost like the same joke. It's a different joke, but it's like the same. But I'm gonna give the series a shot because I see it was like number one on Netflix for at least a while now. I'm not sure if it's still number one or not, but
yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah,
look pretty interesting. I like, I know Wesley Snipes been in some trouble, but I actually like Wesley Snipes as an actor. And
right. He's definitely doing this thing too. Yeah, I don't even want to give you any of the plot. That's how good the first episode is. Like I want you, because I went in knowing nothing because I thought it was going to be funny. Right. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. I gotta. I'll give Kevin Hart another chance and see how he does in this one. Because I'm not as big a fan as I used to be back in the heyday. But I appreciate it. He's talented for sure, and he's got the skills. He's entertaining for sure. But I'm maybe a little bored, a little tired of seeing Kevin Hart. Maybe need to switch it up a little bit.
Right. And I can see that because he was everywhere for
I feel like
a period of time. Yeah, right. But I really think like he's really putting his foot in it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Putting his foot in
it? Yeah.
I'll check. There's something else I watched. Like I finished Cowboy Bebop. I think we talked about that last week. That was really good. So the Ghostbusters movie, we talked about that. I need to watch King Richard. That's on my list. I just have not found the time to sit down and watch it. Pretty excited about that one. Now I got to watch Hellbound because I saw the thumbnail and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
So I need to check that out today. It's going to come back to me later. And I'm like, because it was something I really got throughout the week. But that's fine. Oh, so I've switched study because what I do, I can't just study for one thing. But I did it because the funding for my Azure training and certificate did not go through yet because of the holidays. So it's taking a little bit of time. But then somebody dropped a post where Oracle, their training was free until the 31st of the month. So I jumped on their fundamental cloud cert. So the OCI, I want to say fundamentals. I think it's something else. So I'm doing that because A, I can just do it instantly, and B, I need another W before the end of the year. I feel it. It's heavy on me. Like I need to accomplish something. So I've pushed Azure to January, so I can get Apple time to study, get into it. I'm pretty excited about it. But I think we'll try to capture this OCI Oracle cert before Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Before the end of the year. So I think it's about 7.5 hours of training that they provide and videos and whatnot. They give you checks while you're going through the videos. They give you a pre-test. Like basically it's like what you would pay money for to get access to their stuff plus a $100 cert for free. So I'm pretty excited. Dang. So I'm trying to get through it. And some of the stuff repeats, some of the stuff feels like Azure, but obviously they have their own flavor of stuff as well. So I'm like, okay, now I'll have 2 cloud certs potentially. So
nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. I mean, I don't know anything about Oracle as far as like their, like you said, I'm sure it's like very similar, but I haven't like even touched. I've touched like AWS, like their like interface and like their portal and all that kind of stuff. But I never messed with Oracle much at all. But I think you can learn something from any of the cloud providers, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Because ultimately, I want to get to the point where I can pursue the CCSP, the Certified Cloud Security Professional, through ISC Squared. That's where I want to get. But my cloud is a complete blind spot for me. So I definitely want to get the fundamentals before I jump to trying to get to security. Not to say that you have to, but I feel more comfortable when I actually know the foundation of something before I pursue something that's higher. Some people don't need that. Some people are just like, I understand top level. it just doesn't click for me. Like I have to, you know what I mean? Like I'm the type of person where I have to touch, like cloud's abstract. So it's a bad analogy, but I need to touch something in order to understand it, as I'm very tactile sometimes. So I'm pretty excited to get into it. And I capped all of my PDUs for my PMP.
Nice.
That was painful. Shout out to Rashawn Albert for putting me on to webinars. So yeah, I got through over the past month. I've consumed 48 hours of webinars.
Dang.
I am agile master over here.
Wow.
So many, like it's something you should be doing over 3 years. I waited until I thought it was going to be due this spring. I was off. It's not due until summer. So my next June is when I would have need to be done. I thought it was this February. That's why I went so hard. I didn't have to.
Right.
February is CISP. June is PMP. So I flipped them. So, but
yeah,
it's all good. Now I'm good until June. So where I can do one webinar a week for the next 3 years.
Yeah, actually, I just had to re-up my one of my Azure certifications. I just had to take, like I told you before, like the online open book test, basically.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't too bad.
It's like a refresher.
Yeah, basically refresher. I think it was like 26 questions. I think it was, and it was 20. I think it was 26, but it was, and I give you like, well, I don't think there's even like a timer on it. Now I think about it, but they say it should take you like 45 minutes, something like that. But I think I finished about in 30 minutes or so, but it wasn't too bad at all. But,
see, I like that better. It's not like Cisco makes you, like for my CCNA, I didn't have to pay anything, but I had to take for every 3 credits or whatever they gave me. I can't remember what they gave me. I had to take a test.
Right.
And these were only 10 question tests. Hard. Open book, 10 questions, kept failing the test. I was like, at one point, because they're trying to, in my opinion, they're trying to get you to just take another paid certification. Like, we'll make this one so difficult, you'll just want to go lateral or up.
Right.
But they don't understand how stubborn I am. So I was able to make it through. But next time, I probably don't want to. I don't want to feel that pain again. So I probably have to take something lateral or above. So I like Microsoft's approach. That's actually pretty smart. Because that's how you keep people invested, right? Because I midway through, I was like, I'm just going to give up on the CCNA. Like I had it.
Right.
And the resume had.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. And I think it's I like what Microsoft's been doing. I will say that I did have a different certification I was renewing through Microsoft, but I had like similar problem like you had with the open book. Is like some really like in the weeds type questions. Obscure like type question where you can't just like look it up or something. Or you can't like, not something that you just common knowledge and something that you worked on before. Right. And you have to like really try to figure out, but they don't tell you like obviously if you got it right or wrong. And I remember taking the test multiple times and then like, dang, I messed it up again. And I was like,
you have like 7 different answers.
Yeah.
I don't know which one was wrong.
Right. So I know that feeling, but I like the setup. I like just being able to take the test at my own leisure and not have to worry about, going to a testing center or having like a virtual testing center and doing all that kind of stuff, paying money or doing like the re-ups, like you're saying with the continuing education. We have to like, go to a class, do 50 hours of whatever. Continuing education points to stay current, but I guess it's give and take. But at least I don't have to spend any more money. I think it's the big. It's a big win right there.
Right. Exactly. But yeah. So now I have to add to my list. You said Hellbound. I got to add that. I got to finish Piqued so I could be sad like Shannon over there.
You'll probably like it. You'll probably like it, man. You'll probably like it.
Yeah.
I was just like, they got to get as much material out of John Luke as they can, man. Like I'm sure they had what are they called? Body doubles or stuntmen act as him in some of those scenes, but sometimes I was like, oh man, don't hurt him. Like one time they punched him over a couch. It's
like don't do it.
Like, the man's like 100 years old. Like, man.
Right.
Definitely a stunt man. Definitely a stunt man.
Yeah. So they got to get as much out of him as they can. Patrick Stewart? Yeah, Patrick Stewart's a national treasure, right?
Right. That's the truth. Yeah. Don't hurt that man.
Yeah, and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I guess I actually have to watch it. Like my kids.
You're gonna check it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Especially if your kids are vouching for me. I mean, you got two, at least a few people that are vouching to watch this series.
Right.
So and it's I think if you look it up, you find some like reviews about it. I'm sure you see people really like it, generally speaking. Right. I did a horrible job explaining it earlier, but it's really entertaining.
it piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a shot. Right after I watch people get beat up by demons.
Right. Get beat up first, and then you get
so funny.
It's like you got to catch these fists first, and then you go down.
What happens if you win, dude? Like, all right, respect.
You can stay alive. You can stay. We ain't messing with
Hilarious. I can't wait to watch that one. I'm watching that today. I got a lunch appointment, but I'll probably watch it after that. That just sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. I was like, damn, why are they doing that? It's like they already can like they do like this like kind of ceremony thing where they put their hands and like kind of melt them or whatever. But it's like they could have just done that like ahead of time. They didn't have to like beat them down. Like, I don't know. It seems like unnecessary. It's like unnecessary beat down. Like, we got to beat you into the gang first, then we're gonna like send you down to.
What is going on here? Like those Korean shows are off the chain.
Right.
All right, I'll go ahead and land this plane. It's a funny analogy now that I think about it, like because of the snap and pilots.
Right.
But thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Levon. It's always a pleasure. It's been a great week. Everybody out there who's tuning in, continue please listen, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This previous week was Black Cybersecurity Creators Week, very specific. Got shown a lot of love, a lot of new listeners, a lot of new subscriptions, a lot of new followers on social medias and what have you. So it doesn't have to just be 1 week. We can continue this. Let's make it a New Year's resolution to continue to support Black content creators in general. But definitely hit up the website. It's www.theothersideofthefirewall.com to get to all our socials. You can hit me up personally. I am at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and IG. And you, Levon? Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at Levon Maynard. There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure. Take care.